Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. It's week 12 in the NFL. We're talking right now with Doug Upstone, SBR contributor. We're going to do our weekly spot with him where we get his top plays of the week, Doug Upstone's value plays. Doug Upstone, thanks for being back with us.
Peter, my pleasure to be back here once again. And yes, we're starting to pick up a little momentum, 7-2 the last 3 weeks after a 2-1 week. And hey, let's see if we can keep this baby going in the right direction.
All right, awesome. So 7-2 the last 2 weeks. What is your first value play for us, NFL Week 12, Doug Upstone?
The first one is with the Atlanta Falcons this week. Now, Atlanta is not the same team that they were a few years ago when they were 13-3, but I was really impressed, Peter, that on their 3-game road trip that they went 2-1 straight up and against a spread and could have easily gone 3-0 straight up, except for blowing a 21-point lead in London. So I think they'll be much happier to be back home in a controlled environment, at the Georgia Dome, which I think will be to their benefit. Conversely, I look at Cleveland and, really a nasty loss. And it was the one loss I had here last week on these picks. And they really looked awful, out of sync. And I'm just not sure now going forward if this team is really going to be the team, I should say the surprise team that they were in the first half, and they're going to be more vulnerable even with Josh Gordon back in the lineup. With Cleveland 1-9 against the spread off a double-digit loss as a favorite, I'm going to take the Birds of Atlanta this week.
All right, well, if you want to bet Atlanta as a favorite, laying points, go ahead. I would lean towards Cleveland here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to actually bet that. But, that's Atlanta with how they've been this year as a favorite, even at home, a little too rich for my blood. But, okay, that's fine. If that's your first value pick of the week, what's your second pick, Doug Upstone?
My second value pick, Peter, is with New England this week. Now, since New England lost at Kansas City on Monday night, they've averaged 40.5 points per game and winning 6 in a row and covering 5 spreads. Now, Detroit comes into this game with the #1 total defense and scoring defense, so I don't think New England's going to come anywhere close, to those types of numbers. But where I think the value is at 7 or less here with New England is that Detroit's offense is really struggling. They're 27th in the NFL in yards per point and only averaging 18.1 points per game. I look at Detroit being able to be capable of keeping this within a touchdown, maybe for the first 3 quarters. But in the end, I think the Patriots go to 7-0 as favorites at home as 7 or less.
Well, look, the Pats have been absolutely killing it, right? 5-1 against spread over their last 6. Their offense has been unstoppable. It's a tricky one, though. I just previewed this with the guy named Brandon Shively, who's been on fire in the NFL this year. This was the game that he picked, and he likes Detroit +7. I brought up all the points that you made, which is just basically that Detroit's offense is stalled out, and regardless of what you say about their defensive numbers and the names in their lineup, they're not getting it done. They're not getting wins. They're not getting covers. They're not getting points. But he thinks it's a good spot to bet on Detroit. So it's an interesting game. We'll see how it all shakes out. What's your third pick for us, Doug Upstone?
My third value pick, Peter, is on the Dallas Cowboys at New York. Now, the Cowboys are going to come in this game off a bye, so they'll have fresh legs, whereas New York has put forth a lot of effort the last couple of weeks against Seattle and San Francisco, which ended up being losses and non-covers. Now, the Giants will have certainly motivation playing against the Cowboys and on Sunday night and all that goes with it. But here's where the problem is the matchup. Dallas has the best running offensive line in the NFL, and they're second in rushing overall, where the New York Giants are dead last against the rush. Then when you consider, even if the Giants' defense, front 7, plays really well, their biggest weakness in the secondary is down the field between the hash marks at 15 yards or further down the field, and that's where Jason Witten and Dez Bryant make a living in the NFL doing that. So when I look at what Eli Manning has around him, I just don't see this happening at all for the Giants, and I think this makes Dallas at just -3 a really strong play, and they're 13-3 coming off a bye on the road against the spread, Peter. I like Dallas here.
It seems a little bit suspicious. Why is this line that low? I did preview the game with Troy West from allplayswin.com, and this guy, he's a guy who, in general, when there's a public side that has value and he likes it, I tend to that side tends to win. He loves Dallas this week. I can certainly see why. It seems to me like it's going to be an overwhelming public play on Dallas. The books could get burned if they cover, but the line is the line. The handicapping situation is what it is, and I can't disagree with you. Dallas seems like the right play here. All right, interesting picks for NFL Week 12. Thanks so much, Doug.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.